Good morning, viewers. Welcome back to another edition of We Talk. Such a beautiful, beautiful Friday morning.
I'm excited that it's almost weekend.
Yes, it is definitely almost weekend.
I'm Yolanda Nal and I look forward to spending the next 15 minutes with you. But first, today is National Prayer Day.
Well, in news from our website today, the Windhoek Economic Recovery Initiative was officially presented at the most recent City Council meeting. This initiative aims to promote economic growth and job creation through innovation and will focus on manufacturing, housing, infrastructure, information and communication technology, construction, food, agriculture, retail, tourism, the arts, culture, water and power, among others.
To continue increasing access to HIV services for all people in Namibia, the US Embassy in Namibia has supported the opening of 2 HIV testing facilities in cooperation with the Namibian Correctional Services. Working through the US Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, Namibia, in collaboration with the Ministry of Health, the Embassy has partnered with the Namibian Correctional Service to establish HIV testing sites at the Gubabos and Omaruru correctional facilities.
The world is currently facing a shortage of 900,000 midwives, which represents a third of the required global midwifery workforce. The COVID-19 crisis has exacerbated these problems, with the health needs of women and newborns being overshadowed, midwifery services being disrupted and midwives being deployed to other health services. Check out the full story on our website.
And then finally, if you're looking to keep yourself busy this weekend, the Harley Davidson Owners Group hosts a Skeleton Coast rally in Swakopmund this whole weekend, and it's Drag Night Cabaret at Cafe Prestige tomorrow night, as well as our R&B night at the Goethe Center. Visit our website for a complete list of events. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. As mentioned earlier, today I'm joined with Stefan Ackerman, and he's a biokineticist here in Windhoek. Stefan, thank you so much for your time.
Yolanda, thank you for being here. Biokinetics specialized in exercise therapy. So what we do, we design a specific program for patients with specific needs, so to improve their health, quality of life, especially now with COVID. We're also focusing on pre and post COVID rehabilitation. And so the main focus will be to set up an environment where the people feel safe, where they can train, and there's also when we can measure if there's any improvements.
So this is for anyone from teenagers to a very old lady who has any type of health condition.
Yeah, biokinetics is very specific, but it's for everyone. So it's very important to understand what is the need of the patient, and then we can work regarding the need. We do then design a program for that specific condition, if you want to call it like that, where we do a program in a controlled, safe environment, and we monitor each and every person. So it can be a young person, depending on what the condition is, but we also focus on our senior citizen, also to provide them with a quality of life, to help them to be healthy. But yeah, anyone from A to Z, and it's just depends on the condition.
The industry is still very new in Namibia, right?
Well, we've got a lot of practices all over Namibia. So yes, there's still a lot of people that don't know what biokinetics is, but we really try and educate everyone from medical to patients to tell them what we do, where we are, and like we said, if you go on our BAN website, then you can see all over Namibia we've got practices.
You have an International Biokinetics Week coming up, and your focus is orthopedic rehabilitation.
Yes.
Why is that so important?
Well, we've got a lot of people in Namibia with specific chronic back pain, for example. So orthopedic, that's the main focus of biokinetics. How can we improve your lifestyle? How can we make you stronger, prevent injuries? How can we help you before and after operation? But orthopedic specific, because there's a lot of people with injuries.
Yeah.
And we want to prevent injuries, but we also want to help people with injuries.
Stefan, thank you so much for your time, and good luck with your endeavors.
Thank you.
Welcome back, viewers. As mentioned earlier, today I'm talking to Dr. Henry Boshoff. He's a biokineticist. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Rhonda.
I would just like to know, there's an International Biokinetics Week coming up in Namibia. Tell us more about that.
The International Biokinetics Week is actually the first time it's going to run, and it was initiated by our association in South Africa, BASA, and it's all about creating awareness about the profession of biokinetics, locally but also internationally. The main driver behind this, as I said earlier, is Biokinetics South Africa, and but there's a few countries participating, but that we'll talk about. So yeah, I think there's a lot of people that's not familiar with the profession, whether it's in this country or in other countries in the world, and that's the whole motive behind this week.
Why is it so important to create awareness about this industry?
I think because biokinetics is a relatively young profession compared to some of the other medical related professions possibly. So, and there's a lot that we can bring to the table to help people, assist patients with their functional ability and recovery. So that's why I think it's important, especially in this country, where although we are a small country, but predominantly the majority of the people don't know what biokinetics is. So from that viewpoint, it's quite important for us.
And what will be happening during this event at the International Week?
During the week, there's from Biokinetics South Africa's side, they are actually putting together all of the media, so the marketing strategy. But during this week, a lot of awareness will be created on what types of conditions biokineticists see, what are the possible benefits of biokinetics, testimonials from patients that have benefited from using biokinetics. As I said, all the different service providing and in how many countries there are actually biokineticists operating.
There are other countries in SADC that is also involved with that. Does every country have their own specific theme for this week?
Some countries, for example, us in Namibia, focus more on orthopedic rehabilitation as part of the whole marketing strategy. Whereas, for instance, other countries might do cardiac rehab or wellness intervention. So in Africa, it's mainly South Africa, Namibia, to a very small extent Zimbabwe and Botswana that have biokineticists available. And then, yes, if I may mention, then some of the other countries are like the UAE, Canada, Germany, New Zealand. That's just to name a few.
Namibia will be focusing on orthopedic rehabilitation. Why is this so important?
Orthopedic rehabilitation traditionally, let's say many years ago, would have ended after the person might have had surgery and basic intervention, and then almost left to carry on their own and carry on with the strengthening process. Biokinetics fulfills a crucial, important part by ensuring that the patient is functionally restored, and that muscle imbalances and things like what we call proprioception, which is a fancy word for neuromuscular working, is restored to an optimal point. Now, whether the patient might be a 80-year-old lady recovering from hip surgery, or a top-class sportsman recovering from a cruciate ligament surgery, there are certain goals that you would like to reach with these patients. If you do not reach these goals, you will find that over a prolonged period of time, the rehabilitation time is stretched out. The patient never fully recovers. There's always a residual weakness, and then they keep complaining of chronic symptoms. Yeah. Whereas you do it on the proper time, you sort of get rid of this chronic problem quite easily.
Yeah, thank you so much for your time, and good luck with your endeavors for the week ahead.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Well, for today's life hack, I can attest to the fact that this old trick never fails. To keep your pot from boiling over, put a wooden spoon over the top of it. If it starts to boil up too high, the spoon will pop the bubbles and keep it from overflowing quickly. Next up is Jeanette Diergaard with our Flex Minute.
Everybody, welcome to Flex Minutes. I'm Jeanette Diergaard, your presenter for Flex. Now, we are going for a run, but before we go for a run, we have to stretch first. So let's do a Achilles stretch. So this is your Achilles tendons right there, and I really want you guys to go down like this. So before you go for a run, this is what you do. Stretch out those hamstrings here, and then also work on the Achilles tendons. What you can do is bring your foot up and down, okay? But really go down as deep as you can go, but don't compromise your form when going down. And then, as I said, we're gonna do a quadricep stretch. So you really wanna stretch out everything in your leg muscles, not forgetting anything. So your front leg muscles, those are your quadriceps. So I want you to bring them up, bring up your one leg, hold it tight, squeeze your glute, tuck in your belly button into the spine, and then you hold that stretch. This is from the front. You want to kiss those knees together, and obviously you want to do both sides when doing this. So really, again, engage your core, tuck it in, keep your glutes tight, and then bring up your leg for that awesome stretch right there. So again, as I said, we're going for a jog, but what you can also do before you go for a run, a jog, whatever, imitate that workout, but modify it. So let's just go for a jog then. So we get those legs warm, get your body ready for what's to come, and really just have the right attitude for it. Greet people while you jog, when you go for a jog, and have some fun with it, because at the end of the day, this is for yourself and for being more healthier. And I will see you guys in the next Flex Minutes.
for today's Did You Know, I have my final segment on horse riding all the way from Henties Bay. Good day and welcome to another episode of Did You Know. For the next couple of weeks, I'll be spending some time with Aloise here from the horse stables in Henties Bay, Luxed. Aloise, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for having me.
And how do you maintain a horse?
Okay, so first of all, horse riding is not one of the cheapest sports. So in the feed, that's probably one of the most expensive things, especially us at the coast. We don't have fields to go for the horses to go grazing and things like that, so we actually have to buy all the lucerne, the grass, the power feed and all that. So that's probably one of the most expensive things. And then you have to keep your horse fit and healthy, and we have regular vet checks, we have annual dental work, monthly or bi-monthly feet, the farrier that comes and does the feet and stuff like that. So there's a lot of care that goes into, and it's not just the pretty picture that you see on Instagram or the video that you see of someone cantering on the beach. So there's a lot of things in the background that goes on. I mean, we have to employ grooms to keep the stables clean, and the horses have to be groomed daily. So there's a lot of work actually going into having horses and maintaining them and actually just enjoying them as well.
How do you groom a horse?
So you get different pieces of brushes. You start with a curry comb, which is like a rubbery one. You also get metal ones, but the curry comb, the rubber one, is more popular. So you just start with that one, get all the sand and dust and everything loose, and then the second you have a brush with a little harder bristles. Brush off with that, and then you get a softer one, just the finishing touches, just to get them to shine a little bit. And then the last part would be your hoof pick, just making sure there's no rocks or anything funny in the feet, making sure the feet's clean. So.
And how long will it take to groom a horse every day?
And then boom, it's a wrap.
Thank you so much for spending this week with us. Have a great weekend and we'll see you back next week.
Definitely.